Greetings Warhammer enthusiast. Before you stands a voice assistant of the podcast, dedicated to spreading the greater good. If you find this information useful, please do not hesitate to leave a like and subscribe. Together, we shall explore the depths of the Warhammer universe and share in its wonders. In the furthest reaches of space, where celestial bodies twinkle like diamonds strewn across a velvet carpet of infinite blackness, resides an ancient, ethereal species known as the Eldar. Once upon a time, they reigned supreme over the galaxy, their mighty civilization touching the farthest corners of the cosmos. However, they are no longer the grand masters of the stars. A catastrophic event, a fall from grace so devastating, has left them scattered, clinging to the remnants of their former glory, leading a life in the shadows of the universe, teetering on the precipice of extinction. Today, the Eldar are a shattered race, divided into factions and allegiances. Their unity fractured, their grandeur faded. Still, they endure in the immense void, each faction adopting different means of survival, living on in an elusive, fragmented existence. The Eldar bear an uncanny resemblance to humans. Their frames, however, are a touch taller and more slender, their features more keen and hawkish, complete with distinctively pointed ears. With a lifespan that extends to more than 1,000 years, the Eldar outlive humans significantly, barring any misfortune brought on by accidents or disease. Their bodies function at a breathtaking pace, with a metabolic rate far superior to that of a human, and their cardiac and neurological systems are remarkably sophisticated. This translates to superior reaction times and agility, rendering humans slow and somewhat clumsy in their presence. To an Eldar, a human moves with the speed of a thawing glacier, while to a human, an Eldar moves with the grace and speed of a darting swallow. But their heightened physical capabilities aren't the sole defining characteristics of the Eldar. They also possess an innate psychic potential, acting as the very bedrock of their advanced technology. Those Eldar who consciously harness and cultivate this psychic potential exhibit dramatically increased lifespans, directly proportional to their prowess. The Farseers, the psychic seers of the Eldar, are known to have lives spanning several millennia. Not only are the Eldar physically superior, but their minds too possess capabilities far exceeding those of humans. Their cognitive faculties are astoundingly advanced, and their emotional experiences are incredibly intense. This intensity necessitates constant self-restraint. Without it, they risk a complete mental breakdown. Each emotion, whether joy or sorrow, love or hate, is amplified, experienced in a way humans could scarcely comprehend. Interestingly, Eldar reproduction appears to occur in stages, a process that remains shrouded in mystery to outsiders. As per what limited understanding has been garnered from autopsies, it seems that the father contributes new genetic material to the growing embryo over a prolonged period, resulting in an intricate gestation process unique to the Eldar. This process is significantly lengthier than the gestation cycles observed in most other races. The Eldar, in their physical forms, mental capacities, and deep-seated psychic abilities, represent a fascinating divergence from humanity. They are a testament to the diversity of life that thrives amidst the twinkling stars of the universe, embodying a balance of grace, strength, and profound emotion. As ancient as they are enigmatic, they continue to inspire awe, their existence a poignant reminder of the vastness of the cosmos and the myriads of secrets it still holds. At the heart of the Eldar culture lies their rich mythology, filled with tales of gods and cosmic battles. Among these tales, the war in heaven stands as a monument, a mythic clash between divine beings. It was an era of strife where the pantheon of Eldar gods was divided, each faction led by one of two prominent deities, Vol, the god of the forge, and Kale-Men-Shor-Cain, the god of war. This divine conflict shaped much of the Eldar's spiritual belief system and continues to influence their society. However, these divine figures have largely passed into the realm of myth and memory with the cataclysmic birth of Slaanesh, a new chaos god birthed from the Eldar's own fall into hedonistic excess. With few exceptions, the ancient pantheon is believed to have been consumed by this newly emerged, hungry god. Although the Eldar still honor their ancient deities and keep their stories alive through their mythic cycles, the gods no longer provide them with aid or intervention as in times of old. The divine presence that once walked beside the Eldar and intervened in their affairs has been replaced by silence, and the Eldar have been left to navigate the cosmos without the guidance of their divine patrons. Yet, even in this divine silence, hope persists. An ancient prophecy speaks of a time when the old gods of the Eldar will return. United as a pantheon, they will face and destroy Slaanesh, avenging their fallen kin and perhaps heralding a new age for the Eldar race. Whether this prophecy is true or merely an old myth continues to be a matter of faith and debate among the Eldar. But in a universe of psychic powers and gods born from emotion, the Eldar know that belief and hope can shape reality. So they keep the prophecy alive, a beacon of hope in their struggle against the darkness. The Eldar, an ancient and advanced race, navigate the cosmos in a fundamentally different way than other species, utilizing a unique, interdimensional network known as the Webway. Rather than braving the tumultuous and dangerous sea of raw psychic energy known as the warp, the Eldar move through this labyrinthine network of tunnels that exist in a separate, parallel dimension. Envision the Webway as an intricate tapestry of pathways, threads connecting various points across the vastness of real space. These pathways act as conduits, enabling instantaneous travel across massive distances that would otherwise take a considerable time. Each pathway leads to a portal, or warp gate, an entry and exit point between the material universe and the Webway. However, the Webway is not without its own challenges. Its myriad paths are not always conveniently located. If there's no nearby warp gate to their desired destination, or the existing one is insufficient to accommodate their forces, the Eldar are at a disadvantage. Furthermore, the ravages of time have left the Webway in a state of decay. Numerous pathways are forgotten, and several doors are either sealed shut or damaged beyond repair. Consequently, the Eldar often have to undertake multi-leg journeys, stopping over at various points before reaching their ultimate destination. Beyond its practical function, the Webway holds another significant aspect of Eldar lore, the Black Library of Chaos. Nestled within the winding labyrinth, this mythical repository is said to hold the vast knowledge of the universe, including the secrets of the Chaos gods. However, its precise location is known only to the Harlequins, the enigmatic warrior dancers of the Eldar race, who serve as the guardians of this sacred trove of wisdom. In essence, the Webway is more than just a transportation network for the Eldar. It's a symbol of their past glory, a testament to their advanced technology, and a cornerstone of their culture and mythology. Amidst its arcane and twisting paths lie the remnants of their history and possibly, the keys to their future. The Eldar, once the most potent and expansive civilization in the galaxy, now exist as remnants of their former glory. Despite being reduced to mere fragments scattered across the cosmos, these survivors still wield significant influence and power. Their story is one of rise, fall, and resilience, a saga born out of hubris, laced with devastation, yet echoing with an unyielding will to endure. In the wake of the catastrophic war in heaven, with the Old Ones vanquished and the Necrons slumbering in hidden crypts, the Eldar rose to ascendancy. They swiftly claimed dominion over the galaxy, their mastery over technology and culture far surpassing the accomplishments of any other race. Their arrogance grew in stride with their power, and they began to regard the other civilizations of the galaxy with disdain. Bearing the knowledge of the Webway, a labyrinthine network of extra-dimensional tunnels threading through reality itself, the Eldar expanded their influence across vast swaths of the galaxy. They brushed aside other races they deemed as lesser, such as the brutish orcs, relegating them to the galaxy's peripheries and treating them as little more than minor irritations. As their civilization flourished, the Eldar transcended the need for physical labor. They crafted autonomous constructs, machines designed to perform all mundane economic tasks. This left the Eldar free to indulge their every whim, and pursue their interests across hundreds of idyllic paradise worlds scattered throughout the galaxy. These worlds bore witness to the creation of stunning works of art, profound wisdom, and profound understanding of the universe, much of which is lost to the passage of time. During this epoch, the Eldar experienced a unique relationship with the warp. When an Eldar passed away, their soul would drift tranquilly into the warp, only to be reborn anew. The warp, at this time, was not the chaotic and malevolent dimension it has since become. Instead, it was a realm inhabited by their deities, a haven for the Eldar spirit. The Eldar Empire's size has been a subject of debate, with various sources suggesting it spanned from 10,000 to 10 million star systems. Even military conquests were conducted by their artificial constructs, leading to an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity for the Eldar. However, this reliance on their constructs brought about a sense of ennui among the Eldar. Bereft of purpose, they grew increasingly decadent, seeking novel experiences and higher sensations, laying the groundwork for the rise and fall of their once mighty empire. Amidst the gilded grandeur of their empire, ominous prophecies had forewarned of the Eldar's fall. Echoing from the long-vanished Old Ones, these grim predictions were forgotten and dismissed, drowned in the intoxicating wine of hubris. To the Eldar, all other races were beneath them, mere barbarians unable to grasp their sophisticated technology or navigate the twisting passages of the Webway. This condescending belief was validated by their supreme command of these marvels, bolstering their pride and blinding them to the looming shadows. Life in the Eldar society was a feast of delights. With no need for physical labor, their machine constructs catered to every necessity, leaving the Eldar free to pursue their desires. Even their wars were fought by autonomous creations, and many Eldar found themselves idle, without purpose. As a result, they turned to satisfy their desires, which over time became increasingly hedonistic. A proliferation of cults erupted across Eldar worlds, each devoted to different facets of arcane knowledge and sensual excess. Society, once unified and harmonious, splintered under the divergent paths these cults represented. Corruption took root, as the Eldar indulged in practices that escalated in viciousness, teetering on the edge of sadism. Predators roamed the streets in search of victims to sate their escalating desires, their acts growing more violent to compensate for their insatiable cravings. The once majestic Eldar cities were soon drenched in blood, their cultured elegance drowned in the bestial cacophony that echoed through their streets. Law and order crumbled, and some Eldar fled their home worlds, becoming refugees seeking a peaceful existence elsewhere. Resistance arose against this rampant decay, however. A faction of Eldar, derided as fanatics by their hedonistic kin for their beliefs in self-denial and discipline, managed to evade the corruption. Comprising survivalists, disillusioned Eldar, and those driven to the brink of madness, they fled their homeworlds in a variety of spacecraft. Through trials and tribulations in the harsh expanse of space, they eventually settled on unclaimed worlds at the galaxy's fringes, henceforth known as the Exodites. Here, they led harsh lives, a far cry from the decadence they had once known. The climax of the Eldar's depravity resulted in a cataclysmic event, the birth of a new chaos god, Slaanesh. Spawned from the Eldar's unchecked lusts and desires, Slaanesh's violent birth reverberated through the warp and the physical universe alike. No other entity of the warp was as powerful, monstrous, or had such a tumultuous genesis. Haunting visions of this nascent entity had troubled the Eldar, driving them to more heinous acts, including cannibalism of their kin, as the worlds around them burned. Upon Slaanesh's birth, the Eldar race was gripped by unprecedented pain. With a psionic scream that shook the universe, Slaanesh pulled the spirits of the Eldar from their bodies into the warp, marking a grim turning point in the history of the once mighty Eldar civilization. The cataclysmic birth of Slaanesh wrought destruction not only upon the Eldar but also their pantheon of gods. Slaanesh, driven by insatiable hunger, hunted down the Eldar deities one by one. Liliath, Asurian, and even the aged, blind Mariheg fell prey to Slaanesh's merciless onslaught. Cain, the most formidable warrior among the gods, clashed with Slaanesh in a desperate struggle within the warp. Despite his might, he was defeated and cast down, his form shattered into countless shards that would become his avatars. The heart of this psychic Marelok lay within the core of the Eldar homeworlds, where the concentration of Eldar population was the greatest. The majority of the Eldar, spread across thousands of light years, perished, their spirits wrenched from their physical forms and absorbed into the warp. Many of the fleeing Craftworlds, gigantic planetoid-sized spacecraft, were also caught in this devastating wave. However, many of the Exodite worlds, situated far from the epicenter, managed to weather the storm. Despite their relative safety, some still shared the grim fate of the Craftworlds and Homeworlds, falling victim to the destructive surge. From then on, the Eldar became a scattered race, forever pursued by Slaanesh, their great enemy. The area that was once the vibrant heart of the Eldar Empire was transformed into a terrifying anomaly known as the Eye of Terror. The former Crone worlds, once teeming with Eldar life and culture, were now claimed by the denizens of Chaos, serving as the unholy bastions for demon princes and Chaos space marines. Ironically, the psychic storm that marked the Eldar's downfall also swept away the warp storms that had long made interstellar travel impossible. With these barriers gone, the stage was set for a new era in the galaxy. The Emperor of Mankind, now able to safely navigate the stars, launched the Great Crusade, which laid the foundations of the Imperium of Man, a galactic empire that would rise from the ashes of the Eldar's fall. The Eldar had become a shattered and scattered people, lacking a unifying purpose and fighting a losing battle against their dwindling population. Each day is a struggle for survival against a galaxy that seems to have turned its back on them. The once mighty empire that stretched across the stars is now but a memory, a haunting reminder of their precipitous descent. In one of the galaxy's most turbulent epochs, an immense warp rift sundered the cosmic landscape. To the Eldar, this terrifying event was known as the Dethedian. As a race with heightened psychic sensitivity, the Eldar bore the brunt of the etheric disturbances that followed the rift's emergence. Like a storm that uproots the oldest of trees, the Dethedian left an indelible mark on the Eldar, casting a shadow over their already grim existence. This chaotic period was not devoid of significant transformations within the Eldar society. One such event was the birth of the Inari, a faction of the Eldar united under Iniad, the god of the dead. The Inari represented a glimmer of hope in these dark times, a possibility of resurrection and renewal amidst the chaos. However, their path was fraught with resistance and discord from within the Eldar society and from the rest of the galaxy. Simultaneously, the ancient city of Comorragh, nestled deep within the Webway and home to the dark kin of the Eldar known as the Drukhari, was rocked by a tremendous disjunction. This cataclysmic event threw the twisted labyrinthine metropolis into pandemonium, further destabilizing the already tumultuous circumstances of the Eldar. Even the mighty Craftworld Biel-Tan, a symbol of the Eldar's relentless resilience, could not escape the widespread devastation. Its shattering echoed through the psyches of all Eldar, marking yet another stark reminder of their fragile existence. The Psychic Awakening, as it has come to be known, is a pivotal moment in the Eldar's history. Occurring around the same period as the birth of the Great Rift, this phenomenon triggered significant changes in the Eldar's psychic abilities. This was especially true for the Asuryani, or the Craftworld Eldar, who were most attuned to psychic forces. However, the Dark Eldar remained unaffected due to their atrophied psychic abilities. It's believed that the surge in psychic abilities is due to the Great Rift's introduction of a massive amount of etheric energy into the galaxy. This newfound energy affected every aspect of Asuryani society, and had it not been for the path system, the mental and cultural discipline followed by these Eldar, they might have succumbed to madness from the overwhelming increase in psychic activity. The path of the seer, followed by those Asuryani with psychic abilities, saw a remarkable amplification of their powers. Seers, already gifted with prophetic glimpses into the future, found these visions becoming more frequent and potent. As a result, their ability to foresee fate and adapt accordingly was significantly magnified. The Psychic Awakening didn't spare the Aspect Warriors, elite Eldar combatants who embody a facet of their war god Cain. These warriors found themselves able to channel echoes of Cain more effectively, focusing the energy with newfound intensity. Howling Banshees, an Aspect Warrior shrine, found their war cries echoing with the very fury of the wind. On the other hand, the striking Scorpions became almost invisible in the shadows, only revealing their presence as they leapt from concealment to assault their enemies. Although these abilities had always been part of the Aspect Warrior's repertoire, the Psychic Awakening amplified them to unprecedented levels. Meanwhile, astropathic networks across the galaxy experienced a wave of enigmatic visions. Many interpreted this as the awakening of the Star Child, an entity long prophesied in Eldar mythology. The psychic awakening thus marked not only a shift in Eldar psychic abilities but potentially a turning point in the grander cosmic scheme. Post their catastrophic fall, the once unified Eldar society splintered into several distinct factions, each adapting and surviving in their unique ways amidst the backdrop of a chaotic and hostile galaxy. The most prominent among these are the Dark Eldar, Craftworld Eldar, Exodites, Harlequins, Outcasts, Pirates, Inari, and the Chaos Eldar. The Dark Eldar, also known as the Drukhari, are residents of the city of Comorra in the Webway. They have wholly embraced their hedonistic and sadistic desires, feasting on pain and suffering to stave off Slaanesh, the chaos god birthed from their own excesses. Ruthless, cruel, and elegant in their brutality, they raid and pillage across the galaxy, capturing victims to be taken back to their dark city. Craftworld Eldar, or Asuryani, chose a different path to stave off the consuming touch of Slaanesh. They reside on immense starfaring vessels known as Craftworlds, following the rigid discipline of the path. This spiritual and psychic framework allows the Asuryani to control and compartmentalize their emotions, thus protecting them from their own destructive psychic potential and the predatory chaos gods. The Exodites are Eldar who rejected the decadence of their society before the fall, fleeing to Maiden Worlds on the fringes of the galaxy. They live simple, pastoral lives, embracing harmony with nature over technological prowess. Their world spirits offer a form of protection against the predations of Slaanesh. Harlequins, elusive and enigmatic, are the warrior dancers of the laughing god, Segarak, one of the few Eldar deities to survive the fall. They roam the Webway, performing their deadly dances of war and reenacting the mythic cycles of the Eldar in their performances. They alone have free access to the fabled Black Library. Outcasts and pirates are Eldar who have, for a time, abandoned the strictures of the path to explore the galaxy and their desires. They often become rangers, corsairs, or other adventurers. They might eventually return to their craft worlds, enriched by their experiences. The Inari are a relatively recent development. They are followers of Iniad, the nascent Eldar god of the dead. United by the belief that this new deity might free their race from the curse of Slaanesh, they come from all strands of Eldar society. Lastly, the Chaos Eldar. While many Eldar view chaos as the source of their fall and anathema to their survival, some Eldar have been corrupted by the very forces they fear, either willingly serving Slaanesh or other chaos entities in return for power, or unwillingly falling prey to these malefic forces. Each of these factions paints a vivid picture of the Eldari, their once glorious race now scattered like stardust across the cosmos. Yet, they endure. Despite their fragmented existence, they remain a beacon of what was once an empire spanning galaxies. For in the heart of each Eldari, the memory of their ancient, star-spanning civilization burns brighter than the most luminous quasar, refusing to fade into the quiet night of oblivion. In the course of our upcoming series of videos, we shall embark on an in-depth journey into the heart of each distinct Eldar faction. Each represents a unique answer to the catastrophe that sundered their race, each a testament to the Eldar's will to endure, their capacity for change, and the sheer breadth of their culture. So, brace yourselves for this fascinating journey into the heart of a complex and fragmented civilization, echoing with both the grandeur of its past and the whisper of its potential future. Stay tuned, as we delve deep into the multifaceted tapestry that is the Eldar society.